Chapter 2 of Hints for Lovers. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Hints for Lovers by Theodore Arnold Haultain. Chapter 2 On Men. Duscolon esti tu threma anthropos. Plato. For man, the overgrown boy, life has commonly two and only two sides, work and play. Happy he who has for a helpmate one who possesses the faculty of increasing a zeal for the first, and of adding a zest to the second. Wherein, O woman, thou mayest happily find the twofold secret of thy life work. For man is a greedy animal, he wants all or nothing, and fortunately for him, women tacitly extol man's greed. They will not be shared any more than they will share. There is something canine in the masculine nature. Like a dog over a bone, it snarls at the very approach of a rival. It is curious, but it is true, that proud man becomes prouder, and, more curious still, at the same time humbler, when weak woman gives him something, a look, a smile, a locket, her hair, a kiss, herself. The greater a man's faith in himself, the greater his mistress hers in him. And perhaps, the greater his mistress her faith in a man, the greater his in himself, for a woman's faith in a man works wonders. A man to whom a woman cannot look up, she cannot love, yet it is marvellous how a woman contrives to find something to look up to in a man. Many men forget the artistic tendency of the feminine temperament, a tendency which shows itself in many ways, their love of pretty things, of pretty ways, and of pretty words. From which three alone we may deduce the rule that, when with the woman he admires and whose admiration he seeks, a man cannot be too careful of his dress, his speech, and his manners. A believer in woman is a believer in good, and vice versa, and mutatis mutandis. Man's standard of value of a woman is usually determined by the scale of his own emotions, that is to say, the pedestal upon which a man places a woman (a man always puts a woman upon a pedestal) is a pedestal erected solely by the effect upon himself of her charms. A man may boast himself invincible by men, never by woman. The lady-killer is always an object of attraction to ladies, even to those whom he makes no attempt to slay. It may perhaps be a thing as unreasonable as certainly it is indisputable, that however much wild oats a man may himself sow, he invariably entertains a very peculiar objection to any woman near or dear to him entering upon this particular branch of agriculture. He is a fool who does not bear himself before his lady-love as a prince among men. Some men are so gallant that they will never be outdone by the woman who encourages them, but it often leads to strange embarrassments and entanglements. Few things terrify a man more than the knowledge of a woman's ability to make her emotions, when, if ever, he arrives at it. That is a very silly man who thinks he can play one woman off against another, for in matters of emotional finesse the masculine instance is nowhere, it is blinded, befogged, befooled at every turn. Heaven help the man who is dragged into a quarrel between two wrathful ladies. 3 things there be, nay 4, which man can never be sure, how a great soever his acumen, his astuteness, or his zeal: a woman, a racehorse, a patent, and the money market. They defy both faith and fate. They should be the recreations, not the resources of life, and he is a fool who stakes more than a portion of his substance on any one of them. What a paltry thing, after all, is man, man uncomplimented by a woman. Left to himself, he stagnates. Linked with a woman, he rises or sinks. A gentle touch stimulates him. A confiding heart makes of him a new creature. Under the rays of feminine sympathy, he expands, who else would remain inert. Fame may allure him, friends encourage him, fortune cause him a momentary smile, but only woman makes him, And fame, friends, fortune, all are naught if there be not at his side a sharer of his weal. A man will strive for fortune, strip himself for friends, scour the earth for fame, but were there no woman in the world to be won, not one of these things would he do. End of chapter 2. Read by Kara Schallenberg on August 22nd, 2009 in San Diego, California.